Well, I guess since you're still here, you must like my something. I honestly don't know what you can get from my original video, but since you're here, I might as well do something to celebrate the occasion. So, Dead by Daylight, am I right? With the introduction of the Dungeons and Dragons chapter of Dead by Daylight comes a brand new set of ideas, perks, and all around, well, pretty much anything that Dead by Daylight has to offer. I've gotten into the series around the time of the Tools of Torment chapter, and to say that I've been hooked ever since would be an understatement. With the introduction of Vecna, who is possibly my favorite killer so far, aside from Wesker, I thought it would be fun to share with you some things that I like and dislike about this killer. Also, heads up, I do not have a capture card for my Switch, so none of the footage that's being shown currently is mine. Anyway, here is my opinion on Vecna. The following footage is from Scary No Commentary. Credit goes to them. As I've said before, Vecna is probably one of my favorite killers in the game, aside from my main Wesker. The fact that he has four different powers, it makes him super unique. It will probably not be shown in order because again I can't show my own gameplay because no capture card. But I can tell you his four powers are definitely something interesting. Starting with his first one, simply known as Fly, I don't think anything needs to be changed about it really. Flying around as Vecna is basically just like the nurse's teleport, except, get this, it's actually balanced. Because you can't go through obstacles. As you can see here, Vecna's fly is quite fast, but it leaves you vulnerable at the end to something like a flashlight stun. His second power, which definitely improved from the PTB, was his Mage Hand, as you saw right there. The Mage Hand, don't let this footage fool you because it's from the PTB. Because now, it doesn't slow you down when you use it. And that can be used for some serious mind games. Certain perks and palettes that worked on killers before will not work on Vecna because of this one power. Now, what do I think of it? I think it may need a little tweaking. Basically, it might be a little too powerful, but eh. Dispelling Sphere is a very interesting power because it ties into what makes Vecna so fun on both sides. Survivors get a special magical item when they open magical chests. If you're lucky, you'll get the hand or eye of Vecna, which allows you to teleport like the Dredge with the hand and go invisible with the eye. This this sphere allows you to deactivate them. This killer sounds like a lot of fun to play against, but honestly I don't know because I never played against a Vecna. for some reason nobody is playing as him, and I honestly don't get why. His final power is Flight of the Damned, and honestly, I don't really like it that much. It's a shotgun ability, and I get it. It's kind of weak at long ranges because that's what a shotgun is, but just look at this. See that? The survivor dodged it by ducking. And no, this hasn't been changed. You can still dodge it by ducking, which is just kind of lame in my opinion. Even Artist Crows, which this power was clearly based off of, aren't like this. That is all of his powers. I won't go into add-ons and how they change them because that's honestly another video entirely. But I will say that this introduces so many new mind games and so many new tricks. Well, my only problem with it, honestly, is Flight of the Damned and how it needs to be clustered together a little bit more. And probably the long cooldowns. But honestly, I think some of those things are necessary to keep Vecna balanced. His perks are okay, but nothing really to write home about. Languid touch makes survivors exhausted whenever they spook a crow. This is really good, but you're probably not going to be able to tell that this is happening because it's a passive ability. And as we know from stuff like Overwhelming Presence, yeah, it's not really. Passive abilities don't tend to get used much. But what does get used are active abilities, such as an amazing perk like Dark Arrogance. Honestly, and also when I said it was an amazing perk, that was sarcasm. Because what were they thinking with this thing? Vaulting faster, but you get blind and stunned for longer? Unless you're doing an Ultra Vault Myers, I just don't see how this is going to be useful. Just equip Bamboozle instead. Nothing of value will be lost, trust me. The final one is just, which I forgot the name of currently. Please correct me in the comments. But trust me, it's just weird. Basically, when a survivor drops their item, it'll show the auras of other survivors around it. Which I think that is cool, and it will automatically and a survivor will automatically drop an item if it depletes. So you can immediately run with the who am I kidding? You already know which perk this is going to be ran with. Franklin's Demise is suddenly gain an annoying utility. But I guess I can't complain about it because I use it. I use this perk combination myself. Is there anything that I would improve about Vecna? Honestly, there's not much. Vecna was pretty spot on when he first released. Only and the only problems I had with him, those long cooldowns and the fact that Mage Hand was kind of useless, have both been fixed in the release version of the chapter. I guess if there was one little thing I would change about Vecna, it would probably be Languid Touch telling you which survivors were exhausted so that you would know what to do. But honestly, if they don't change it, that's fine. So, Vecna is just a really fun killer in my opinion. Maybe he needs a nerf, but honestly, I just think this is the most fun killer they have released since Wesker and Chucky. In short, I would give Vecna a 9, maybe even a 10 out of 10. Nah, I'm giving him a 9. Only because his perks are just not that great. But hey, what do you think of Vecna? Please let me know in the comments below. And tell me what you would change about Vecna as well. I'm open for any discussions with the comments, as long as it remains civil. I will not tolerate any toxicity. And sorry this video is quite amateur, but this is my first proper video ever. So, I'm sorry about the quality. Anyway, I am Brandon Diggins, aka the Gamer Nerd, and this has been my opinion on Vecna. Tune in next time where I probably will tell you my ideas for a new killer in Dead by Daylight. Who's it gonna be? I don't know. How about you stick around and find out?